What's going on, riders? If you're new here, my name is Charlie. I grew up in the town of Sturgis and I live right here in the Black Hills. If you're coming here for the Sturgis 85th Rally, please stay tuned to the end of the video. This video is going to be packed with pro tips. You do not want to miss some of them because I guarantee your rally experience is going to be significantly better if you listen all the way to the end. I guarantee there's something you didn't think about. So let's hop into the list that I made. The number one thing that I put on the list, this pertains to people like myself. If you have a hard time sleeping at night, bring earplugs. If you plan on going to any concerts, bring earplugs. You'd be surprised at when an earplug could really save the day. If you're going to any burnout competitions, if you're going to watch somebody roast the tire, you have no idea. If you're walking down the street and you're just getting overstimulated, put your earplugs in. You have no idea how great earplugs can be at the motorcycle rally. So bring yourself a set or two, have a couple spares in your saddlebag. They're cheap, they're small, they collapse, they squish, and they always come back to their original shape. So, what's up, brothers? The number two tip really should have been the number one tip, is do not drink and ride your motorcycle. Alright, I know that Sturgis is a big party, but please, for the sake of everybody here, for the safety of yourself and everyone else on the road, just don't drink and ride. Alright, if you're gonna drink, stay there. If you're gonna ride, go out early in the morning and get back to wherever you want to start drinking, then start drinking. Because the last thing you want in Sturgis is to, one, crash your motorcycle and die or be severely injured, or two, most likely you're going to get a DUI. And then you're going to have to fight the legal system. You're going to lose over $10,000 is what the billboards say. And it's not going to be any fun for the rest of your trip, especially if you do it on day one. So just don't drink and ride, guys. It's not worth it. There's plenty of systems that you can use in order to get transported around Sturgis, like the bus system and the shuttle systems that are in the town of Sturgis. Check out the bus. It's thebus.com. I'll have the link here, or a link in the description. And there's also several cab services in Sturgis. So no reason to drink and ride, alright? There was 155 DUIs in the week last year. And this year is going to be a record-breaking year. They will be pounding people for DUI. So do not drink and ride. If it's after 2 a.m., just don't get on your motorcycle, okay? Now, let's talk about something else here. When it comes to parking on Main Street after 2 a.m., they start towing motorcycles. At a certain point in time, you really want to be careful at all point in time to be careful by Harley-Davidson Main Street Square, right? Because near that area, it's like a main access for emergency services, and they always tow bikes in that area. I honestly don't recommend parking in that whole area, right? I'll highlight it here. Your tent camping. Something I find is good, especially if it's a real hot August night, is a battery-powered fan. You can get yourself a battery-powered fan, runs off a couple batteries, and it will blow on you at night. It'll keep a little constant breeze going and make a tent a little bit more comfortable, because sometimes tents can just get a little stuffy, can't they? I also use a self-inflating mattress. If you're coming here on a long-distance motorcycle trip, you don't have the luxury to pack either a mattress or an air mattress, then try to go to like Cabela's or some other camping place and get a self-inflating air mattress. Mine does a really good job at inflating on its own, and if it does need a little bit extra cushion, I can blow in it a little bit. So I do recommend them. Also, you'll want to get yourself a cooler that can actually handle hot days. The cooler that I've been using for the last couple of years all the ice melts every single day, and then I'm trying to like drain out the swamp and stuff. It's not great. Get a cooler that works. And also a pro tip is, if you're on a motorcycle trip, backpacking pillows that can collapse down, or they stuff into a little tiny sack and they become smaller to worry about what, you know, all the stuff that you're packing on your motorcycle. In the town of Sturgis, if you're a content creator, the one place that I know of to get SD cards and stuff like that is a place called Rushmore Office Supplies, and it's right down by the city supply, like where you can get the city water and the city dog catcher. It's near Lynn's Dakota Mart. There is a laundromat in Sturgis. It is near the Sturgis Indian dealership, and there is there's two grocery stores in Sturgis. One is called Grocery Mart at the top of the town, and one is called Lynn's Dakota Mart, which is the larger one most everybody knows and will go to because it is right by Main Street. Do not come to Sturgis and rent a motorcycle and ride around if you are a new rider. This is not going to be a place for new motorcycle riders, especially this year. Most motorcycle fatalities happen in their first year of motorcycle riding. Okay, that's just the statistics on it. Now, when you come to a motorcycle rally that is projected to have 800,000 people in a town of 6,500, it is not a place for you to be learning. And if you're trying to do something like that, you're just putting us all at jeopardy, quite frankly. So if you're not a seasoned rider, don't plan on coming to Sturgis and renting a motorcycle. If you don't know how to ride a motorcycle and you want to come to Sturgis, be my guest, but don't ride around on a motorcycle. There's plenty of things you can do without riding. Don't get stuck. What you want to do is go and make a plan for yourself right now, today, as you're watching this video. Go to the schedule of your campground, go to the Sturgis Rally website, and go to the event schedule and make a plan for your days. Every day there's going to be something different going on. So whether you're, okay, I want to wake up and ride the needles and make it back for Daredevil Wednesday, you have to make sure you have enough time and you budget out for the traffic, lunches, bar stops, whatever you're going to do, right? So make a plan. It's okay if you can't stick to your plan 100%. Don't get bummed out if you make a plan and you try to follow it really rigid and you can't. Don't get upset about that. But if there's something like okay, I have to get back for this Disturbed concert. Okay, well, make a plan. And if you're like me, if you're 36 or older now, you need to also plan in naps to your days, because if you're out late all night long and then you're out early trying to ride through the hills and do whatever you can, and then you think you're going to go stay up late again all night, you got another thing coming, especially night 4, 5, 6. If you think you're going to make it to night 9, I don't think so, bud. So keep yourself in a plan, and plan a couple downtimes too. Stay hydrated. All right, everybody wants to come here and drink beer, but it's hot. You're riding motorcycles. You've been riding motorcycles long distance. You've been hitting the wind, the sun. You're dehydrated as hell, even if you don't think you are. So go for the goal of drinking a gallon of water a day. If you can go for that goal of trying to drink a gallon of water a day, that will try to combat the dehydration a little bit. You may not be able to stay on top of it even. You got to think how much you're sweating at all times. So that brings me into bring comfortable clothes. Everybody thinks about bringing their leathers and their leather vest and showing off how tough they are, and their big boots and their biker chains and their knives on their big leather belts. What you really need to think about is how tired and how exhausted you are and how comfortable you can be. You want shorts, hey dudes, some walking shoes, some nice crushable walking shoes that you can throw into a saddlebag or a tour pack or strap onto a pack somewhere, that you can, when you're at your destination or you're ready to go walk around Sturgis Main Street, then you're ready to throw on your comfortable shoes and your shorts and not your protective lining gear and your big boots. Because then you're just in for sweating your ass off. And my oboes are not the most comfortable things to walk around in when I could be walking around in a light pair of Hey Dudes or like just a light pair of running Nikes. It's something just comfortable that you can slip on your feet that's going to be having air and breathability compared to your riding gear. The next one, guys, is Sturgis tattoos. A lot of tattoo artists are going to come into Sturgis and the surrounding areas, and they're going to be giving tattoos. Make sure you find somebody that is reputable. There are a lot of not even just new artists or not very reputable artists that give out bad tattoos every year because they know they're not necessarily going to see these clients ever again. There are a lot of really good local tattoo shops. If you're interested in getting one from a local Black Hills area, go to Black Cat Tattoo and tell them Stoke and Spoke sent you. So if you're going out to eat at a bar or a restaurant, or you're just traveling through a grocery store or any of the local establishments in the area, I would just like to give a gentle reminder to everybody that the local people work at the local establishments, and they are really what support the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. If we didn't have people working in Sturgis, working in the surrounding cities, we would not have the ability to come here and to party and to be relaxed and to get food. So please be respectful to not only the local workers, but all the people who come in and set up food vendors and whatever. The nicer that you can be to everybody, the nicer everybody's going to be back, and the better the experience is going to be for everybody, right? So parking on Main, I think I am going to do a full video on parking on Main. If you were here last year, parking on Main Street was heinous. First off, if you're a trike and you have to park on Main, I understand. Older people are on riding the trikes, and maybe you don't have the ability to walk as far anymore. But if you think about it from the perspective, if you would have come here at a younger age riding a motorcycle, a trike takes up the space of 3 motorcycles. And that's really unfair, especially when you talk about a crowd of 800,000 motorcycles descending on that one little main street. Trikes, go park somewhere else, man, and take the shuttle, because it's not fair for us to be lining that up. Anyway, if you have to park on Main, you need to park in the center of the street. The center of the street, like this. If you're going into Main Street, and I'll take a little video from my clip, and you're going down the street here, and you are going to park as a motorcycle, you need to back in with your butt like this, so you can pull out and go down. That is the best way to have flow in the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. That way all these bikes are parked like this in the center, and then all of these bikes are parked correlating in that same diagonal line. That way the bikes in the center back up and go straight, and the bikes on this side pull out. Why am I saying this? I'm not saying this to control your life. The road is curved because here we have winter and water that melts. The road is curved. All right, so you're gonna, like I saw a bunch of times last year, so many times last year, more than I ever since 97, okay? People pulled in with their front tire up against the curb, and then because the curve of the road, they're trying to push their motorcycle back, but they're not strong enough to get it back, and they need to get a push back. So just trust me, when it comes to parking on the Main, pull forward and back in. Put your rear up against the curb there and have it like this. So all you have to do is pull out and forward. Same thing. on the center of the lane, pull in here, and then all you have to do is back up and then out. And the curve of the road will actually roll you backwards. So there should be enough room on Main Street for four layers of bikes. The bikes on the curbs and 2 layers in the center of Main. All right, so front tires touching each other in the center, and the bikes on the curb. They got really jacked up last year, man. God, it was annoying. I wanted to start yelling at people with a loudspeaker. Hey, don't wait until you're too old. You know, one of the hardest things for me to see every single year is people waiting until you'll see them get off their motorcycle, they're hobbling, they can barely walk, and they say, I had to make it for my last rally. And that's sad, but one of the harder things is when you see somebody like that and they say, I had to make it for my first rally. If you're, the Sturgis Motorcycle is a big party. So the younger that you can get here, the better. Get here at 21. If you can buy a Harley Davidson and get here at 21 years old with a credit card just screaming to be racked up, you are gonna have the time of your life. I can guarantee it. I had my first Sportster down here when I was 23, and it's never the same coming to the motorcycle rally before you have a motorcycle and then after you have a motorcycle. Also the same thing before you're 21 and after you're 21. So if you didn't get the experience of seeing the motorcycle rally before you were 21 and then coming young, just do it as young as you can. It's so much fun when you're a young person. One law that people don't really realize is a thing in Sturgis is you have to have eye protection. You do not have to have a helmet, but you have to have something covering your eyes. So whether that's sunglasses or if you have a half helmet, you still have to have something covering your eyes. These little sun shades that drop down, those will still be accepted as something covering your eyes. So when you're in the town of Sturgis, make sure you have something on your eyes when you're traveling down Main Street, because they will bing bang you right at the corners. The cops standing on the corners, if they suspect you of being drunk, you got no glasses on, they'll stop you right then and there. So be careful. That will lead me into, if they're having that open container, and there's a certain perimeter for the open container law, you have to have the cup. It's a certain event cup that you can have beer in. Last year it was not liquor, it was only beer. So they were nailing people for having liquor in the cup and mixed drinks. It's only beer unless that rule changed. Now, I did, and I would imagine these guys are going to be freaking stalking people like it's Nazi Germany, and they're going to be hitting people. So do not walk outside of the perimeter line with that event cup filled with alcohol, and by alcohol I mean beer, and do not have it filled with mixed drinks. You're not allowed to have mixed drinks in the event cups. If you're gonna go do a ride in the if you're gonna go do a motorcycle ride in the Black Hills, you need to get out early. I would suggest at the crack of dawn, literally at the first sight of light. It's around 4:30 nowadays. You need to get out on your motorcycle and you need to start riding towards your destination, because there's going to be so many people in every town, on every road, that it's going to be almost unenjoyable to ride. If you came here to ride, I am sorry. It is not the time to come ride the Black Hills during the rally. You're still going to have fun, but most likely, especially this year, you're going to wait in such a long line. Hello, dear. You're going to wait in such a long line of motorcyclists at all times at every place that you're just going to wish that you could twist the throttle a little bit. Do the demo rides. Demo rides are not something that everybody thinks about when they come to Sturgis. Not only Harley Davidson, but Yamaha, Honda, BMW, a lot of different companies are going to have demo fleets. You can come and test ride their latest models. It's one of my favorite things to do in Sturgis. Go ride the new models. Why not? See how they are. If you're thinking about upgrading, especially if you're thinking, hey deer, if you're thinking about getting into something new, if you guys saw me hit that road snake, I made a funny video about hitting a road snake on this road back there, and my Instagram went crazy with people saying I didn't know how to ride and stuff. It was wild. I forgot what I was saying. Do the demo rides. Try as many new motorcycles as you can. Why not? If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. It really helps get the videos out there to more people to see. If I'm going to see you at the Sturgis 85th Rally, comment below if you do see me out there. Please run up and say hello. We'll get you on a video clip and on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys. I'll be spending most of my time out at the Buffalo Chip this year because really once it gets rally time, it's too crazy down there for me to ride. But I will try to pop into Sturgis early in the morning, do the demo rides. You may also catch me doing karaoke down at the Oasis. Hey, Oasis. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Stay safe out there on your motorbikes.